your breakfast comes in a bag is very funny.
Oh my God, I've had loads of breakfast in a bag.
Have you?
Yeah.
You've had loads of breakfasts in a bag?
Yeah.
This is the podcast. We'll just go from here.
We just start from here. Welcome to Absolute Cuts. This is how other podcasts, even long-running podcasts, that don't even start and go, welcome to this.
Yeah.
That's how the pros do it. We've now entered Pro League.
Our pro thing started with, you've had loads of breakfasts in a bag.
Yeah. You never had that? I had it in, was it Dublin?
Sounds good, like it.
Dublin not that long ago. The reason they gave it to me in Dublin was because I was leaving before breakfast started.
Okay, right, yeah.
And they went, what time do you want to come down for breakfast? Do you want to book in for breakfast? Obviously it's free anyway, and I said, no, my flight's at like 6 a.m, so I won't make breakfast. And like, oh, would you like your breakfast to your room? And I went, yeah, well, God, aye, absolutely. And she was, obviously, because the kitchen will be open then, it'll come in like a bag. It'll be breakfast to go. And I was like, do you know what? And they were like, go on, take it. You know, Irish folk are like, they're like, eat. So,
yeah. They'll get all their value from giving you shit.
But then I looked up, so they gave me a list of stuff I wanted. So I was like, right, I'll take a croissant and I'll take like a coffee and stuff like that. And then they had cereal. And I was like, I'm going to get this anyway to find out how the fuck this works.
Yeah.
And all it was I got a box of cornflakes.
Yeah.
And then a shitload of those wee milks that you would put in
horrible.
tea. So I had to eat it. And a wooden spoon. So I had to eat it. I had to basically pour the tiny wee milks into the box of cereal. And then eat it before it soaked through the cardboard.
That's fucking terrible. That's awful. I could never eat that with the UHT milks. How many did they give you? Like 400?
I swear to God, there was about 20 wee UHT milks. Because I used to do a thing. I don't know what... I used to drink those anyway.
What do you mean?
Whenever I'd go into...
What is it with you and milk? You take a wee shot?
Milk. But those... Yes, I would do it like a shot, right? There have been times, right, where on the rare occasions that when we were growing up, we would stay in hotels, it was a massive... like novelty. So, and you'd get the wee milks, but in those days they weren't just UHT. There was a lot more cream in them. You were basically drinking a shot of cream.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, that seems a little bit more.
There have been times where I've been in hotel rooms and pretended to be a cowboy at a bar and just had shots of cream.
Fuck's sake. Wee John Wayne.
Right. Welcome to the podcast. Before we start properly, I have because I've got quite a few. I've got two things to discuss with you before we start the film, which is excellent, by the way, this week. But before I start them, a plea to anyone, right? It's one of the... I don't know if you have this, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever made up your own, not your own posters, but see if you have a poster or an image to sell a show.
Yeah.
And for some God alone knows reason, every single social media platform has its own dimensions and pixel rate and aspect ratio that it needs to be in. So you can't just have one picture and that'll do a post for every one of them, right? So I was doing this yesterday. I was trying to put up a paid ad for a show, and the poster I had was too big for Facebook, so it was cutting off the top and it was cutting off the bottom, which was the venue, right? So basically what I'm saying to is anyone out there good with resizing stuff?
It is a nightmare. I don't know how to...
Is there a program, right? Because I googled it for about an hour. I had Seamus help me in the car, and even he was tearing his hair out at one point, and he went into Amy and he was like, where's Dad? And he was like, he's in the car trying to resize a poster. And he was like, he's going to have a heart attack, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
I can only do video. I don't know how to do it in a picture.
It seems like the simplest thing, just to shrink something. I mean, I get that if you're shrinking something, you'll reduce the quality of it. I get that. Or if you blow something up. Whatever, if you make changes to the original image, you'll reduce the quality. What I don't understand is, from what I've Googled and stuff, I've gone on fucking GIMP. One of them's called GIMP.
GIMP.com.
I've used Photoshop, I've used Photor, I've used all this Adobe, all these pricks, right?
Canva.
And Canva, yes. And I get that it comes up and you've got a certain amount of pixels. So you've got like 1,579 pixels in the vertical, and then 1,579, so it's a square, right? Or if you've got a lot, you've got most of mine are higher.
Yeah.
Because most photos are taken in that portrait mode. Most of them are higher than they are wide. So to do that and to get it to fit in, you need to reduce the height. But then by reducing the height, it stretches it widthways.
Oh, so you just
you end up like a wee fat tubby fucker, right? And then the words all go. So you need to find a basic balance where I'm not taking it too low, where it becomes a Hall of Mirrors poster.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I don't know how to fuck
So
to do
my
that.
plea is to anyone, if you could send me a message on any platform explaining to me a program or something where I can reduce the size
And not
of
look-
images for social media and not stretch them out so it looks ridiculous.
Like Ripley's Believe It or Not, isn't it?
Yes.
Polymers. Great.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that. I want to know the answer to.
It's a fucking pain in the arse, and it actively prevents me and discourages me from promoting things.
Do you know a little trick? Not a trick, it won't work for that, but I kind of like put it on my Instagram story. I had it on Instagram stories. So, you put everything onto Instagram stories, fire all the shit up because you can move shit around easily and then screenshot it and try and take it. Screenshot it, then crop it out, and then you've got an image made from Insta.
That's a good idea.
It works for very basic, obviously.
Because you can put anything in the stories.
Exactly.
Any size of anything, because you can fucking shrink it in the story.
There you go. Maybe that is it. Can
So
you
if,
shrink?
if you put any picture up, it could be the biggest picture in the world. You put it up in story, you can then shrink it. So why can I shrink it with my two thumbs, but not a program? This doesn't make any sense.
It's true.
Anyway,
I'm so hungover.
yeah,
Yeah,
this heat it can't be helped.
it isn't. Yeah, I've got a nice cold can of Coke though.
Yes.
I'm going to flip the little thing up. Keep talking. I just
Aye.
realised-
The studio that we record in is basically a greenhouse, and the sun shines directly into it. So even with the blinds closed,
I had to check if the fucking radiator was on because he's done that before. Where I come in, open it, and it's like a wall of heat.
aye.
It's like sauna.
Two things I wanted to discuss. We need to discuss the Oscars, but we do that
Okay,
before
yeah,
the film. The Glastonbury lineup was released today. Have you seen it?
No. Oh, is it bad?
Do you know what it is? If for us, for me, definitely. But the Glastonbury lineup and any festival lineup hasn't been good for me since 1999.
Well, they definitely haven't been.
So
They definitely haven't been the same. Like when you do look at them old ones, you're
yeah.
I remember like
Right.
Oxygen, even 2011 was.
So
unbelievable
your
compared to-
your three headliners
yeah.
on the Friday, the 1975.
Dire cunt of a man. Jesus fucking Christ.
On the Saturday. Now that's right. So I'm assuming that it'll be I'm assuming Biffy Clyro will be headlining the other stage opposite the
Okay.
1975. I think, looking at this.
Yeah.
Then other people a day. Busta Rhymes is playing that day.
Class.
Decent. Alanis Morissette's playing.
Great.
That's good. Fatboy Slim's playing.
Always
Franz Ferdinand, Supergrass, Blossoms. All good.
Yeah.
Good day lineup.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, the Clash is on the main stage. Neil Young.
I thought you said the Clash. I was
No.
like,
Neil Young
right.
up against Charlie XCX.
Jesus Christ.
And folk are quite rightly saying you can't do this because you'll have nobody there watching Neil Young.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't go and see Neil Young.
Yeah, no, I'll go to Charlie X.
I don't think.
I like Neil Young, kind of.
I like.
Kind of?
But I wouldn't be dead. He's not one of those like if the Stones were playing, I'd go and watch the Stones because I've never seen them. But Neil Young isn't on that bucket list of a must see Neil Young.
He's not. It's not really a closing set. What the hell's he going to do?
And compared to
Charlie XX, not great, but like
no, it's not great, but
it'd be fun.
it'd be fun. Get your hole.
Holy crap! Charlie XCX in the 1975.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Wait till
crap
you hear
for-
Sunday.
Oh, no,
Right,
man.
so,
for Glastonbury, that's pretty.
Elsewhere on the Saturday,
Is it going to be SZA?
Elsewhere on the Saturday, Deftones, which I was very surprised at. That must be one of the heaviest bands they've ever had, Deftones.
I was annoyed with the Deftones because their lead singer, there's loads of pictures of him, like signing Israeli bombs and shit.
Oh, is there?
Aye, and I was like, oh god.
Is his name Chino or something like that?
Aye. So like they're playing in Dublin and soon, and everybody's like,
How do you mean they signed a bomb?
Have you ever seen that? All the like Zionists keep doing that.
No.
Like, pictures themselves. They sign their signature on the actual bombs before they're loaded into the planes and bomb people. They're like, yay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. Yeah, that's a really common one. There's Trump's fucking signed one.
That's grim.
Yeah. But the Deftones guys, and everybody's just like, oh, why are you getting political? You're the Deftones. Not
Kid
political.
Rock.
It's not even fucking political.
Big Kid Rock signed one.
Oh, that sounds like exactly
Tom Brady, bet he signed one.
anybody outrageously American.
Yeah.
Kid Rock.
Right, elsewhere on the Saturday, you also have Deftones, Amyl and the Sniffers.
Oh, yes.
Gary Newman.
Who?
Kaiser Chiefs, Gary Newman. Electropop. Kaiser Chiefs, Kneecap, Left Field.
Sorry, hold on.
Scissor Sisters and Weezer. It's a good day as well.
Are you fucking kidding me? Email and the Sniffers, Kneecap, Left Field,
Yep.
all in a row, basically.
On the Saturday, aye. So that's good. Right, Sunday. I'll tell you who's on during the day. So, headlining the other stage, probably the Prodigy.
Okay.
Right? What are you saying? Okay, for?
I guess he's dead.
Because he's dead. Huh?
Like, I'm going to see them this summer. I'm doing
Yeah.
a festival. I'm doing that Why Not festival. And they're on, and I can't wait to see the product.
it'll be good, aye.
I'll love it. But
Aye.
I'm like, I always feel like, it's kind of, I've missed it.
Aye, I know. Rod Stewart's doing the legend slot. It's class. Also on Nile Rodgers and Chic.
They're always great.
Libertines. Future Islands. Snow Patrol. Brian's Jonestown Massacre, the Maccabees, Wolf Alice, right? It's not as good, it's not as strong as the other days, but headlining the main stage, Olivia Rodrigo.
Fuck's sake, man. Like,
That has to be one of the no harm to her. That vampire song's fucking class.
yeah.
But that's weak.
For Glastonbury,
For
like
Sunday night.
there is enough about other things, but Charlie XCX, the 1975, and Olivia Rodrigo. I mean, they're big, obviously, but not for Glastonbury closing.
No.
Yeah, I reckon out of all of them, Charlie XCX will do the best job.
Oh, aye.
Just because of spectacle.
Aye.
But, jeez.
Aye. It's not. Again, it's not for us, but I even think with me going, it's not for me, that's weak. Do you know what I mean? Like that, they can't. How? I mean, like it's this idea of longevity. That's what the thing is. Like, how much stuff have they actually got?
Aye.
Like, 'cause, I know you hate the Killers, but the
No,
Killers
I would never. But the Killers have
The Killers have got a fucking back catalogue that could easily headline any festival in the world.
Yeah,
I don't know if Olivia Rodrigo's got a back catalogue of.
Yeah, I don't know her enough, really.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway,
My God.
Oscars. Did you watch it?
I don't remember it, but I did watch a bit of it.
Did you?
Apparently, yeah. Not apparently, but the thing was like you were watching the Oscars last night. I woke up the next day, I was hungover again because I don't have no recollection of it. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Conan's.
Conan was great.
Yeah, he always is.
I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Very, very funny.
I watched one. I watched the Best Actress one.
Shocked?
No.
No?
That's what I told you on this podcast.
You did,
when it had
to be fair,
I
you
said it
did.
would clean up.
I thought Demi Moore would have got it, but
No, she was very good as well, but I don't get. I've already said what I felt about the substance. It wasn't as too
Yeah, I know,
hyped and
I know.
shit like that. She
I've
was
still not
great.
seen it.
She was great, but Maggie Madison definitely was going to win that.
I'm massively coming round to Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his speech.
Yeah.
Where people were calling him a little arrogant cunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I thought it was refreshing. I didn't think it was arrogant either. He just said like he was just inspired by the greats. He wanted to be great, and this was a lot of hard work. And I was like, good. That's actually what you should be saying.
I would take that speech over Adrian Brody's a million times.
What I didn't.
What a pretentious.
Did Adrian Brody
wank.
win Best Actor?
He won Best Actor, and he did the. So he did.
I didn't see the film, but-
he did a speech about basically basically exactly the same kind of speech, talking about how much of a struggle it's been for him in the industry since he won his first Oscar, and then because he made absolute dog shit in between winning for the Pianist, and then winning this, he's been in some fucking real utter Rob Schneider films and stuff.
Yeah. He really does. He does the odd like artsy type film, and then it's Predators.
Exactly. But then he got played off and then said, no, stop that. And he was like, this isn't the first time I've done this. He said, like, this is my first rodeo. And then went on to speak for another. It's the longest executive speech ever in Oscar history. 5.5 minutes it was. Fuck off.
I would just be like, say thank you and get away.
Aye.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Shallow. I thought he might have won it for. I haven't said it, but I thought he might have won it for the old Bob Dylan thing. I think it's really weird. That's a really weird relationship too. His girlfriend's his partner. He's got with fucking Kylie Jenner.
Yeah,
don't know why. I just feel like that's the weirdest.
It's weird.
I can't figure it
out. I don't know what they talk about.
See, this is kind of it, like, you know.
Yeah.
They just seem like two very different people.
Because he seems like quite a switched-on, intelligent, very artsy.
Yeah, very artsy.
Pseudo-intellectual kind of wee guy.
Yeah.
And she's a Kardashian.
Yeah.
So you go, what's the conversation? Is this purely to pump each other? Because... Well, I don't imagine she would know who. This is probably doing a massive disservice.
I know, but
Bob Dylan, like you're not gonna go.
Well, it's the same way as I would be like if Zac Efron was banging fucking
Jermaine Greer,
Kathy Bates.
No, but it is. It's just two people you would never put together.
Yeah.
It's a weirder coupling. Is Adrian Brody's girlfriend, Georgina Chapman, right? Now, how do you know that name?
Mark Chapman.
No, the guy that killed John Lennon.
No, Mark Chapman, like Match of the Day presenter. Adrian Childs.
Georgina Chapman used to go out with Harvey Weinstein and was in the business.
I know this. Didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about it.
We talked about her fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Weird.
Insane. Absolutely fucking insane.
Fucking it, that's bizarre.
I know. You would never have thought.
That's another weird
You
one,
would never watch The Business and thought that woman that's pumping Danny Dyer there.
Yeah.
What at one point she'll be in the second row of the Oscars.
Yeah.
After having been through a relationship with one of the biggest sex criminals in American history. Telling you. Wonder what odds you'd get for that.
Imagine
getting a William Hill for that. You've seen The Business. You know the girlfriend, the main guy's girlfriend. Yeah, the one that's seducing Danny Dyer, right? 10 years, right? In this next 10 years, she will have been going out with a massive sex pest. Weinstein. Yeah, the guy that's lauded every single year at the Oscars and Hollywood loves. Yep, he'll turn out to be a sex pest. And then she won the second row of the Oscars with Adrian Brody.
It's quite a trajectory.
I bet 1 penny and I'll be back for my 19 million soon.
Fuck's sake. I reckon you should probably bang Ray Winston next. I feel like that's along the Harvey Weinstein thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I was doing that. As if,
I don't know.
It's downhill to Adrian Brody and back up to Ray Winston. Other celebrity couples is the Aaron Taylor Johnson gets a lot of stick.
Because he's his former agent
being groomed.
Oh no, it was a director.
Yeah, she's a director. Yeah,
she's about 90 or something. Like that.
Yeah.
And is it Trudeau that's wife's ancient?
I don't know. Maybe
is it Trudeau? Can't remember. I think it's Justin
Keanu
Trudeau.
Reeves. Everybody points at it because his wife's the same age as him. People are like, what a kind of a fucking psychopath is this guy?
That's sicko. Something wrong with that.
There's 3 years difference in them. Leonardo DiCaprio spitting on his feet in the red carpet.
Apparently, this was the least star-studded Oscars for years, and do you know why? Most of them were filming the Odyssey. Like Nolan's filming the Odyssey in Morocco, and most of them are in that cast. So like,
I've seen people complaining already about the Odyssey because his outfit, the Matt Damon picture.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
And the other one, they had little horns on the helmet, and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my god, who gives a fuck?
have you ever read it?
No.
I have no idea about Homer's The Odyssey.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's about. I'm assuming it's Greek mythology.
I think it's a prequel to Simpsons Hit and Run. No, yeah, I don't really know. It's what they just keep going. Oh, it's an epic.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you really mean by that? Like,
No idea.
Epic just means grand scale fighting.
Yeah, long.
Long.
Yeah.
It's an epic. Yeah, it's going to be long.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 76 minutes.
I hope it is one of those, those like Ben-Hur epics where there's just like a cast of, like they get like 10,000 extras in one scene. Hope it is like that.
Yeah.
And fucking 4.5 hour film. Hours go by when nothing happens, just people walking.
You just live a day in his
Love
life.
that kind of shit.
That's what they should do. A day in someone's life.
A day in someone's 24-hour film.
You just follow the dude around.
That's Truman Show.
Yeah, well, a Truman Show if it was 24 hours.
Aye. I bet it would need to be someone really interesting.
Oh,
a day in our life would be shit.
Yeah. It'd be great if you. It's like 9 a.m. and you're getting pumped. Just to face into the pillow. Oh god,
It's the wrong day.
Last
the
night-
wrong day of film.
I tell you, last night I was doing Sloss's audience, and I asked someone about role play, and they went, "I do it all the time." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
come
no.
on, yeah." And they're just like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Dungeons and Dragons." And I was
Fuck
like,
off.
"Oh, fuck it."
Honest to God.
Very funny.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right.
Is that the two? Did we have another thing? It was just the Oscars and the.
I think that was it. Aye.
I don't know actually who won a lot of the stuff.
I
I know Nora cleaned up. Though.
know where I cleaned up. Who the fuck won? I can't even remember who won Best Supporting
gives a
Actor and all that kind of shit.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't think there was any. Oh, Kieran Culkin won Best Supporting Actor.
He was good.
There was a mad video, right? I watched, and it was a girl talking about how both Kieran Culkin's and Adrian Brody's behaviour was symptomatic of the society we live in, where men own women and constantly use it to degrade them, right? And the two examples they use is when Adrian Brody's going up to accept his Oscar, he realises he's got chewing gum in his mouth.
I fucking saw that.
So he turns around and he chucks it, and she catches it.
Yeah.
Right? And you go, yeah, it's a bit, I mean, like, there must have been somewhere else you could have put it. Like, make a joke about it. See, here's the thing, right? I don't think Adrian Brody's he doesn't come across as that nice a guy. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't come across as someone, you ever heard that, The Rest is Entertainment podcast? Richard Osman, they were talking about it. And they were saying, like, his speech is a perfect example of why writers are so important in Hollywood, because actors and actresses and stars get so up themselves and raise themselves to such a high status because they're being worshipped, but they're also on screen every single day saying incredible things and saying perfectly structured and perfectly edited sentences. Right? Grand sentences. Basically, if you were, like, in any situation, if you were given 10 minutes to come up with a perfect thing to say or reply to something, that's what a film is.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you realise when they actually have to speak on their own and they don't have a script behind them, that's when you go, fuck, this person's actually thick as fucking mince. Or they're so pretentious that they're just coming out with this dog shit.
Yeah.
So I think he could have made a joke about it. He got up to the chewing gum and he went, oh God, look, I've got chewing gum. And then he stuck it under the lectern or something, or
put it on
the Oscar. Exactly. Yeah, it would have been funny. But he chose to spit it out in his hand and then throw it.
Underhand. Not that overhand would be better, but I say
fastball. Fastball right into John Lithgow's face.
I must say, I did find it odd.
It's odd. It's odd.
The fact that she's like, oh,
it's odd that she catches it
and stuff, and I'm like, what?
So yeah, you can kind of see it with that. But with Kieran Culkins, he went up and told an anecdote about how when him and his wife are married and they've got 2 kids, and he said he wanted a 3rd kid, and she had said, right, listen, if you win such and such an award, one of the other acting awards, okay, we can have a 3rd kid. At no point did she ever think that he would actually win, right? And then he said, well, I actually want 4. And she said, I tell you what, you win an Oscar, you get 4, right? And he told this story. And then at the end he went, right, let's get back and get started on those kids, right? And she's laughing away. Everyone's laughing. It's a nice, funny anecdote. But then there was this clip where people were going, this just like ridiculing the woman, clearly pressuring her into sex.
Pressuring her. No, it's clearly.
And then going, women only exist to procreate for men. And you're going,
that's not what it is. For
fuck's sake,
pick
man.
your battles
exactly,
correctly.
You can't. Don't try and find something in everything.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Aye.
I saw that film too, by the way. He was good in it, but it was just him.
Aye.
I mean, you're not going to get any Barg here in Cole. Like, it's just him again.
Yeah.
It's like Mark. He's like Mark Wahlberg in that way.
But I think that's all we've got to discuss, apart from the fact that World War III was narrowly averted.
Was it?
Well, it looked dodgy last week when Zelensky met Trump, and
they're like, I love the thing where they're like, have you even said thank you before?
Yeah.
And then Reuters had a thing coming across going, Zelensky has thanked American people in America 33 times in the last year.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Like, have you seen thanks? And I don't think anybody technically has said thanks more.
It's when they asked him if he owned a suit. Do you even own a suit?
That's pretty funny. Do you even own a suit? They're like, it's disrespectful. And there's fucking Elon Musk in his tracksuit bottom with a kid dangling off his shoulder. It's just disrespectful.
I think Zelensky should go get the badge in every time he meets Trump from now on. It's like that the whole time sitting there.
That'd be great.
Right. This week's film.
Belter.
Yes. We both agreed this is possibly... You said top 20. I think this might sneak into my top 10 films of all time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what this is. It's like that little genre of like dread, like a little like build up of anxiety. Like, I put this in like it's better in my opinion than like Requiem for a Dream.
Yes.
It's better than Uncut Gems. It's better than Good Time. Things like that.
Anxious films. Anxiety inducing films.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely the best of them.
Yeah. It's Whiplash, by the way.
Whip. Yeah.
Whip. Whiplash.
I'd actually look there. They're going like, is there a hitch in it?
Do you think they only call it Whiplash because it's a cooler title? Because the actual song Whiplash isn't played that much, and they finish with that song Caravan, and that's the one that's got the hardest bit in it.
Yeah.
But Caravan's a shiter.
Yeah, the movie's called Caravan.
You wouldn't go and see Cat. You'd be like, what? Fuck's a bunch of travellers. Fuck that. Like,
Caravan, the movie. Yeah, probably. And then they probably went, there's a car crash. That also counts as Whiplash.
Of course. Yeah.
That's probably.
I didn't realise that a lot of the jazz stuff in this was written for the film.
Fuck off.
I thought it was all classics. Now, Whiplash and Caravan are.
Yeah.
But when I went on and was looking at the soundtrack, whoever... I can't even remember the guy's name.
Buddy Rich or something? No, that's the fake.
But the guy that... is it Damien Chazelle who's the director?
Yeah.
So there's a guy that he works with on every one of his films. He's always the conductor, and he's always the sound... the composer of the soundtrack, and he basically wrote jazz songs, but not modern jazz. He basically wrote jazz songs that sound like they were absolute classics in the 20s and 30s for this film. It's fucking insane.
The music's unbelievable.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, do you know what I found just strange? This guy, Damien Chazelle, is way younger than you think. So Damien Chazelle...
32 when he won the Oscar for La La Land.
For La La Land, he made. I actually have a thing here. I actually hate his movies, a lot of them.
Right.
Right, because like he made 10 Cloverfield Lane. Oh no, he didn't. He wrote that.
He wrote that. Yeah.
Right. La La Land's terrible. Babylon is one of the biggest pile of
I
shit.
tried watching it, and
It's just fucking. First Man's not good either, right? But like,
see, First Man should be good
Aye.
because that's a great. I mean, the story of the build up to go to the moon should be fucking excellent. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Like Babylon's one of those fucking any I've said it before in this. I hate odes to Hollywood. You know,
Aye.
shite. They're all shite. I swear, I don't even fucking like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I know you don't.
I just fucking drive me
Yeah,
mad.
I like them. Stuff like
hate
that.
them.
The Player with Tim Robbins, I fucking love that.
Never seen that.
Hollywood films about Hollywood are great.
I drive me mad a lot
What
of
about
time.
Get Shorty?
It's been a while now.
Didn't even talk about. We'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
Gene Hackman.
Oh, that's right.
Fuck. I remember that.
I've only got it. Whiplash. What I remembered the first time, I really like Miles Teller now.
Yes, I think he's excellent.
I think he's excellent and everything. I even watch him in shite films now. You know, he's in a couple of like dark shit, like that Gorge film.
Oh, he's in that.
Great
isn't he?
to
Yeah.
watch. He's
Yeah.
just great to watch a lot of the time. You know,
There's a great. So obviously he's brilliant as Goosey's son in Maverick,
yeah,
and War Dogs is excellent.
yeah, yeah.
With what's his name?
that little wanker, what do you call him? Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, that's a great film. And then there's a boxing film that he made as well. Some Let It Bleed or something like that. That's really really good as well.
Oh, really? Yeah,
It's
yeah.
class in that. He's a guy that basically he's like a promising prodigy of a boxer, and then he's in a car crash and breaks his neck, and then it's his recuperation to come back and fight again.
So do you
Fucking
reckon?
class.
Do you reckon he does this because like he's in a car, like in real life? Miles Teller was in a huge car crash. That's why he's got scars all over his face. You ever see that little?
He's good. Aye.
So
Is
he was-
that why?
He was in a massive car crash when he was younger, and he was like, I didn't think I was going to get roles because of the scars.
Yeah.
But now people are like, he's in a fucking man. They really make him relive it and everything.
That's what I know. It must be traumatic.
They're like, you were in one of these before. Let's recreate that.
Because the car crash in this is good.
Very good, yeah. Do you know, like that's actually a good one. Best car crashes in movies, I reckon. Obviously, Casino Royale or whatever will win it, but
That is a good one. Aye.
but you know that inside shot when the camera, like
Yeah.
I don't know how sometimes they look. Sometimes you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
And this one was a good one. And then
good
you come out
shocking.
climbing out onto the glass.
Yeah,
You know, you're like, oh, yeah.
yeah. Aye, Casino Royale is probably the. Can you count Pulp Fiction as a car crash? No, because he purposely runs over Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah. Good though. It is a good one because
Aye.
it's well shot and you just see it. It's
Aye.
realistic. Yeah. Good car crashes. That's one we can come back to.
Yeah.
Car crashes.
The Final Destination films must have some.
Aye.
Well, the whole start of Final Destination 2 is basically one massive car crash.
Bad Boys too.
Yes.
It's not even car crash. There's cars throwing cars at people.
Aye. Right, we'll do that for a future Patreon episode. Best ever car crashes in film.
I like everyone in this film.
Yeah.
He's great in it. J.K. Simmons is obviously great.
Phenomenal.
Reminds me of my dad.
He does, yeah.
He reminds me of Eugene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm going to turn. I hope I turn into an angry.
I think
angry,
you will. I think you need to bulk up.
Oh, he's yeah.
Quite
Yeah.
solid, isn't he?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's not like a. I don't know what age he would be when in this, in his 60s probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's a terrifying build on the man as well.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks cool as fuck as well.
That dad,
and they all black.
That dad as well is good actor.
Paul Reiser.
Yeah, and whoever the girl's so hot.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the girlfriend, yeah. The wee lassie that works at the cinema. You only see her in like 3 scenes.
Aye, yeah. That happened to me. By the way, not when that fucking in the cinema. You know, he's asking. Yeah, Miles Teller asked me out before.
When he used to work in the Odeon.
Miles Teller.
The Odeon
Miles Teller
on
randomly comes
Lothian
up.
Road.
Just keeps asking people out that works in cinemas. Miles, no. Do you like, by the way, putting the chocolates on the popcorn?
I've never thought of doing it.
Didn't I not say this to you before?
No.
Or somebody, I had this thing with, like, I've seen people doing it a lot, like, and I kind of don't like it.
I've never ever seen it. I've never seen anyone do it, and this is the only film I've ever seen. So what is the deal where with popcorn you
People
just
chuck
put,
Maltesers in it a lot of time.
so as your but surely that melts.
It does, but not not as much as you'd imagine
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a wee treat
amongst the popcorn. I just
amongst
don't
the
get it.
popcorn. See, when you get popcorn, what do you get?
Oh, well, I do change it up, but I do enjoy sweet popcorn.
Do you not never a mix?
I would have a mix, yeah.
Mix is the
I would definitely have a mix.
Now
yeah.
that's where I can see the chocolate thing, because if you've bundled up a big mitt full of sweet and there's a wee salty one in the middle there, oof,
Yeah.
fucking sets it off. It really does. Just makes the rest of the sweet pop. And imagine it. I'm going to try it now. Actually, I'm going to try with different chocolates. Those wee aero balls. And you get minty
that could work.
popcorn.
Just throw random skips into it.
Do you know, you've had butter and there's a cinema near us that does, you can get butter poured over your popcorn. The kids love it.
Like just a big spoon of it.
It's like a for want of a better word, a tap. It's like a butter tap. I'm going to get one installed in the house, actually.
Just pouring your toast under it.
Beside my bed.
A butter tap.
And they just put butter over it, and it just caramelizes and butters up all the popcorn. I mean, it's messy, but it tastes fucking phenomenal.
Tastes unbelievable.
And then there's a big gloop of it at the bottom, and then you can
that's fucking... No, I couldn't do that.
just drink almost calcified butter.
I don't know. I have a thing about that. I can't... Like, you know, like people drinking cereal milk out of the bowl?
Oh, that's
Just
good.
drives me...
That's good.
I don't know what it is. The anger that comes across me is just...
Could you see if I gave you a teaspoon of butter, just butter? Could you eat it? You would eat it, but would you enjoy it?
No.
No.
You wouldn't enjoy it.
No, I don't think I would. I think that's weird, because I'll have more butter than a teaspoon on my toast.
Yeah.
Yet the idea of just eating a teaspoon of butter disgusts me.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Actually, yeah, I can't think of anything else. You would have a teaspoon of Nutella or jam or
Easily.
Yeah.
I would quite happily stick a ladle.
I'd stick my cock in
I'd
it.
stick my cock in it, yeah, and then chow down. But I would stick a big tablespoon in a Nutella and eat that, no bother. But butter, not a fucking chance.
Wow. Nice.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Makes you think. So a butter tap. Fucking hell. I don't even know how we got on. Oh, the cinema.
Yeah,
I kept asking us out.
So the idea, I mean, this film is basically just abuse.
What age, by the way, is Miles Teller, right? Because there is a thing about this where I find it weird that if he's the same age as them, as the director, I don't know why the director has to be older, like a football manager. I just wouldn't respect a younger guy. So
I think he'd be younger than the director at this stage in his career.
Yeah, so Miles Teller is 38 now.
Yeah.
Right? Damien Chazelle.
This was what, 2014?
So he's 2 years younger than Damien Chazelle. The girl, what age is she? She's 36.
Right.
Paul, I don't know why am I checking Paul Reiser's age? He's 68.
Who's Simmons?
What age would Simmons be?
I reckon 62 in this.
So he is 70 now. So yeah, you're
not far off.
Not far off. Yeah, good stuff.
Aye.
So yeah, this is genuinely just straight up abuse. This just felt like Wall Stag.
Yeah, yeah. But no greatness comes out of it. At the end.
No greatness whatsoever.
It doesn't encourage anyone to be better at anything.
There is a couple of things I hate about this. I actually hate that he's great at the end. I don't hate that he's great at the end, and I don't actually really think they kind of glorify it.
Yeah,
there is a little bit because it ends. You're meant to kind of like
there's an ambiguity to the ending.
Yeah, because really, what I would hope he'd finish it and he's like, "You're one of the greats," and then I hope he's fucking stab him in the throat.
Yeah,
because like
So that's a question for the end. Like, who do you reckon wins in the end?
You see, this is it. They've both got what they wanted.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because you don't want to be like, because all of this is not. I hate using the word like thing, but this is all just pure toxic.
Yeah,
to get greatness out of the guy, right? But
I would say it's more like I would tend towards J.K. Simmons has won in the end, because his entire goal was to produce one of the greats.
Yeah,
right. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
right? And then you can say that's because there's at some point I go, do you know what? See when they're talking in the bar, in the jazz bar, and he's saying the reason I push people is because when I see someone who's got it in them, I push them to release that. And then he talks about Charlie Parker and how if he hadn't had a cymbal thrown at his head, which isn't a true story apparently. They threw a cymbal, but it didn't throw it at his head. They just chucked it down because they were fucking sick of how shit he was. Okay. But he says like if he hadn't had that thrown at his head, he wouldn't have then gone home and practiced and became the greatest saxophonist or whatever trumpet player of all time. And then Miles Teller says, yeah, but can you go too far? And he says, well, no, not with someone like that, because he would never have been discouraged.
But I mean, like, what about the fucking people? Like, he's saying, like, I did that only to push. What about all the people he literally hates in the class? That he doesn't think, and he still treats them like shit. He kicks that dude out for not even being out of shit.
But not knowing he isn't out of tune. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But that's why I think he wins in the end, because that's his entire goal.
He did definitely get his. He did.
Whereas I think Miles Teller thinks he's won, because he then presumably, because there's all those, for want of a better word, scouts for other bands and other like conservatories and all that kind of stuff. He then probably goes on to become one of the great drummers.
Yeah.
But he's now turned. He's almost like Anakin into Darth Vader now.
Yeah.
He's given into the dark side of that.
Yeah.
He's dead. Like he is, because they talk about it earlier on at the dinner table where they're like, he's like, I'd rather be dead at 32 full of heroin than live and nobody knows who the fuck I was. So there's a good chance he is dead at 32, because he's now going into a world where he's now become a fully fledged prick. Like he's been building to it with dumping her and then turning on the other bandmates.
Yeah. So it's very funny.
He has
his. Yeah.
So yeah, Simmons is the Emperor in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's Anakin. And he's been turned fully to the Sith.
It is a good...
Yeah. Good analogy.
Good analogy is the word I was going to say.
Yeah. But what I love about it is, I love how J.K. Simmons is so fucking hell-bent on punishing him and getting revenge on him. After he finds out that it was him that got him the sack.
So good.
And he the way he tricks him into getting him into the band, and then he turns up and it's the wrong music, and they're going to do a different song that he's never heard of, and he has to improvise on it. And he goes up and he goes, Jink, I'm fucking stupid. I knew it was you.
Great.
The fact that he sabotages
his
own band and his own reputation just to get revenge on this 18-year-old kid is like pettiness you will never see.
It's so funny.
Fucking brilliant.
Big fan of it. That's such a good one.
Yeah.
He's very... Do you know, this film could easily be... You can get a load of people to play an angry guy.
Yeah.
But he's so tense and believable.
Yeah.
Like he's so good at it, but he's so believable as a teacher, kind of a music teacher. It's just sort of like,
it's psychological torture, pretty much, because there's points where he does...
You fucking slapping him in the face at one stage. When
like physical abuse, but also mental abuse. Like before they go into the first band practice, and he's asking him about his family, and he's going, "Are your parents musicians?" And he goes, "No, my dad was a writer."
Yeah.
And then he became a teacher. And what about your mother? No, she left when I was young. And he's the way you think he's doing that is because he's just welcoming the new kid to the class and getting to know him. But then within 5 minutes, he's using what he's learned against him, going, no wonder your fucking mother left you. And your dad's a fucking failure piece of shit just like you. You're like, Jesus Christ, man, this is so utter psychopath.
I remember when I saw this in the cinema, I remember screaming, laughing at one stage, though, when it was like, milk the cunt.
What? Where the hell does that come from, that line?
Milk the cunt.
My God.
Everyone's fucking... You've heard that around your house quite a lot. Milk that cunt. Milk the cunt. They're draining the fucking...
I had that down, the guy shouting out milk the cunt. My two other favourite lines... my three favourite lines are... Because this is on par in terms of quotes when you're abusing people with... The Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, the thick of it.
The thick of it. No, that's a good die. But this is very similar to Full Metal Jacket. Where, I mean, the scene where he gets with the fat kid and he's like, what are you looking down there for? There's not a fucking Mars bar.
yeah.
And he's like, you can't be in my band when you're more focused when you're more focused on a fucking Happy Meal than you are in keeping tempo. Like you're like, that is exactly the same abuse that he gives to Gomer Pyle. In Full Metal Jacket.
That's great. Not My Tempo is great.
Oh,
not My Tempo.
No, that is so threatening. No, try again. Just try again. Is that offhanded? Just listen. Just one more. Just slightly off.
They're fucking bleeding. You know when their hands are bleeding.
Oh. Awful. So the 3 lines I had were when Miles Teller loses the folder. He's asked to keep the main drummer's folder, and it's foreshadowed by going, look, I don't care what you do, but I don't want to see anyone leave their fucking folders at their side, right? You keep this in your hands all time. And then the guy, Tanner, I think his name is, gives Neiman, who's Miles Teller, the folder to hold while he gets a juice out of the... And then he turns around and it's not there. Now, what do you think happened to the folder?
Sabotaged by another band.
Do you?
Yeah.
See,
because there was other people on the opposite side of the corridor. I don't think it's them, but it's trying to say that the worst people are in. I think somebody saw it and went, brilliant.
I never even thought of that.
I think it was another person from a different band, because they know, because they'd be the same. Like, if you see the folder, like that, they're fucked without it. So he just...
Because I initially thought it was Miles Teller. I thought he'd purposefully lost it as a sabotage so that he knew he would then get a chance at the main part. But I now think it was probably J.K. Simmons.
Oh.
Because he'd already said that about the folder. If he goes past and sees a folder sitting there, he's like that, I'm taking this. So because they probably have their names on it, but it said drums on it as well. So he's like that, right, this is another test for...
Oh, that's a better one. I enjoy that. That's a good one.
The 3 lines I had. So when he
it'd be funny though if you turned around at the thing and it's just J.K. Simmons running with a little folder. If you get caught doing it, you're like, what are you doing?
When he comes in and he says, I gave the folder to Neiman, and Neiman's lost it. And then he's like, why the fuck do you give the folder to Neiman? And then he goes, you give a calculator to a fucking retard, he's going to try and turn the TV on with it. Brilliant. When Miles Teller realises he's left his drumsticks in the car hire place, which, can I say, the quickest hiring of a car I've ever seen in my life for a fucking 17-year-old. Seriously?
Yeah, I've never actually, I've never obviously rented a car before, but I did not think that. It seemed like he did it in 3 minutes.
You can't just walk in and go, like a car, please. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There you go. No need for any credentials whatsoever.
Yeah. I've got fucking 1 minute.
Yeah. So he says, I'll be back. I'll go. I left him in the car hire place. I'll be back. And then J.K. Simmons says, "You've got 10 minutes, you pathetic pansy ass fruit fuck." But the best one is when they're trying to get ready for the concert, and there's some wee lackey guy keeps coming in to tell them.
Christ. And he goes, I thought that's the same guy as the Happy Meal.
No,
is it?
No, I don't think so. No,
because that guy got kicked.
He just got. And he says, "Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you."
Yeah.
So harsh.
What did he say then? He was like, "I can still fucking see you.
I can still fucking see you, mini-me."
Top tier abuse. That's actually funny. Like, I'm trying to think of like funny, screamy, shouty people. So Full Metal Jacket, him.
There's a lot of sports films with it.
Aye.
Like, not so much Pacino in Any Given Sunday. He's more supportive than that.
Yeah. It's more motivational. Yeah. It's just technically motivational, but not like straight up. Yeah, my like I sometimes do watch thick of it. Not Capaldi's character, Jamie.
Yeah.
You know Jamie, the other Scottish guy.
Oh yeah.
Funniest, man.
Yeah. I've not watched the thick of it that much, to be honest.
It's the fucking funniest. I love it.
Aye. Try to think of other really shit. Louis Gossett Jr. in Officer and a Gentleman. Drill sergeants, basically.
Just drills. Yeah, that's what he is, really.
Clint Eastwood in Heartbreak Ridge is exactly the same.
Okay, right.
Fucking, what's his name in Police Academy? Mauser. Or Harris. Lieutenant Harris. Yes, Lieutenant Harris in Police Academy. People yelling at people.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, just I mean, it is essentially a military film. This, it's not that far off Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, it really is. Drill sergeant. Yeah,
Because
So
he's trying to create them. He's trying to make them into soldiers, and he's trying to make him into a drummer. It's very.
It's so funny that it's about jazz.
Yeah.
You know, it could be about 100 million different things. You could kind of make a thing, but it's so good. That
Do you know why it is?
Why?
Chazelle was a drummer in a.
Oh, was he?
In a jazz band at his university.
I feel like you could have told that just by his name.
Aye, Damien Chazelle, yeah.
I'm a jazz drummer.
But he said that, like, his... I'll tell you the rest of my trivia after this.
Well, didn't he... By the way, there was that character that clearly killed himself because of J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, Sean Casey.
Sean Casey.
Yeah.
I remember that too because it's such an Irish name.
Yeah.
Sean Casey would star in Caravan.
Yeah. That's the only piece he could play. Every other, what is a trumpet player? Then when Caravan, fucking kid's amazing at Caravan. That's Sean Casey.
Sean the Wandering Gypsy Casey. That's so funny.
Right. So yeah, he was a drummer, and Miles Teller was a drummer as well. He was a rock drummer. He was in a band, and that's largely why he got the part. It was between him and two other dudes because they made a short of this first.
Oh, did they?
And the other dude that played him in the short didn't get it because he always wanted Taylor, and Taylor wasn't available for the short. But as soon as the film came along, he was like, "Fucking beat it." Basically, like life imitating the art. He's like that. This guy fucking beat it. I've got a better dude now. So the two other things I found out. I've got that. Miles Teller played the drums. He played them. A lot of the stuff was like a stunt drummer for the close-ups, but then he played a lot of it, and a lot of the blood that was on the drum set in the two scenes were actual Miles Teller's blood because he did that so hard. Fucking brutal. This filming of this, when he slaps him, they were real slaps. Real slaps. Because they were like, they tried to do it where they would position the camera and J.K. Simmons would go to slap and then Miles Teller, but they couldn't get the timing right, so they both just went, "Well, we just do it for real." And he went, "Aye, all right." I was like, okay, go for it. You don't tell anyone, I don't tell anyone.
Funny little fucking horrible slaps. Real disrespectful slaps. Like,
but this was filmed in like 19 days.
Really?
Like 14-hour days and shit like that.
Wow.
Like, fucking insane.
Brutal.
3 million. And it looks incredible.
It does. It looks
like,
unbelievable.
You wouldn't think this is a cheap film.
Yeah, because like, in fairness, a lot of it is just straight up, you're in the room and everything like that. But unbelievable. Milk the fucking cunt.
Milk the cunt.
The guy just screaming it. Milk the cunt.
I don't even know what it means.
It just means drain the...
Is that what it is?
You know, they're like milk the cunt, so they're all just draining the spit and shit out of their...
Oh, right.
So when they're going milk the cunt, it's like all them going... And you see this... You know, this...
The reeds that they have on the end of their instrument. I never even thought about that until I watched this film.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Oh, there would be a massive build-up of saliva.
I never thought that too. It's great that they're showing you spitting it out like a little drain thing. And I went, obviously there would be. I never even thought that.
So did they have a bucket underneath there?
I don't know.
Like a fucking spittoon? A cowboy film?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Milk the cunt.
Oh. See the bit where he's been playing for ages and he used to put bandages around his calloused fingers and bleeding fingers. I get the same with wank. You know those long weekends you do where you maybe get a gig on the Wednesday and you're not back till a Sunday night? That's me. Friday morning like that. Jesus Christ.
That's so funny. Your hotel room is just covered in handprints of blood all over the walls. I had a marathon wank last night. Bleeding.
Have I ever told you that?
Fucking, you've got a... Can you send up a jug full of ice?
Yeah. Put my fists in ice.
Fists and cock in it. Just like that.
How many pictures of ice there? 3, please.
Oh God.
This feels This feels out of place to say, considering this has been quite an intelligent episode. Have I ever told you my wanking story where I broke my thumb?
No.
So
wait a minute. No,
I didn't break the thumb wanking.
Okay, right.
I realised how that sounded.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Should have run with that. Yeah, that's how vigorous I go. I broke my own
thumb more of it.
Like, play my cock like Daley Thompson and the Commodore 64.
It's like whack-a-mole, pushing it back into the foreskin.
Nope. Years ago, I was playing basketball once, and my pal Andy was playing shit. He's played basketball quite a lot, and he'd He'd missed something, and then in a fit of rage had went to boot the basketball away. But he went to boot it just as I'd reached down to bounce it back up.
Yeah.
Right, so he caught the ball and it caught me there and just bent my thumb right back, right, and just broke it immediately. So this was when I was a couple of years into my wanking career.
Okay.
So I was all in.
Career.
Like I'd pushed all my chips, right? This was my thing.
Yeah.
And but I had a bandage on my, because they can't really do a huge amount for broken fingers and stuff, but I had a bandage to kind of keep the thumb straight and a splint on it and to set it. But it was in my right hand, obviously, because I bounced the basketball in my right hand. So I was like, fuck, like I can't, what the hell am I going to do here, right? So I was like, nah, this isn't going to, no, I can't. So I started trying my left hand, right? But I never really used my left hand for anything.
Yeah.
And it was so weak, I couldn't get any purchase at all. I was like, it's fucking rubbish. This is like getting fucking wanked by a disabled person. This is ridiculously bad, right? So, and I was like, it's also taking ages, right? Because there's just no pressure behind this at all. And I eventually thought, fuck this, and skipped back to the bandage hand, and I actually had cuts on my knob. So I was that desperate to masturbate. I was quite willing to take cuts, tiny cuts on the end of my knob rather than wait with my left hand.
Fucking cock like Miles Teller's throat.
Just
little chippy.
Just bandages grating, basically grating the shaft of my knob.
You would have been like your thumb as well. Would have been out like a fucking yeah.
It was like an awkward handshake.
So horrific.
Oh Jesus.
Oh God.
Anyway, back to intellectual stuff. Did you have any bastard teachers at school?
Do you know? No, I had a funny one. I did have a couple of bastard ones, right? But most of them are lunatics. One or two of them were like my religion teacher used to be like, he's like, I remember one day she was like, his name was Christopher Bryson. He was, Christopher Bryson, will you stop looking at me and judging me? And he just looked up from his book like, what? It's like sitting there fucking judging me. Send him out.
That's like Vietnam kind of flashback kind of shit.
He was just like, what are you talking about, right? And we had a guy, and one day, he's just one of the guys, he was very funny dude. His name was Gary Brown. He just got up one day and he's like, where are you going? He's like, oh, just fuck this. Just walked out. I was kind of howling at it. But we had a teacher that it was actually that the judgmental one's husband was my geography teacher, and he was so fucking funny. But he would do a thing where he would convince you you're wrong, right? He's doing basically that thing like, you know, you should know when you're out of
oh yeah
shit. So because he would do things like, you'd be looking at an OS map and he used to always do this thing, and she goes, Aaron, what's that cross there? And you'd be like, that's a church. And he goes, Ryan, you think that a cross on an OS map represents a church? Is that what you think? And I'd be like, no. And he goes, of course it's a church.
Jesus.
And I'd be fucking like, the more I think of it, it's quite funny. Like, he would convince you that you're wrong, and then be like, no, you're right.
So he is doing exactly what he does.
Yeah.
In terms of making you doubt yourself.
You completely doubt everything, and then you're like, yeah, you're right.
Fucking hell, that's horrible.
It's not really. It was quite funny. He did it in a funny way, but it wasn't as...
We had you know how he throws the chair at Miles Teller on this? We had a maths teacher who kicked a bin at someone one day.
Great.
It was, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm not going to name his name anyway, but some kid was just talking, literally just talking. And he got so irate and didn't say anything. Just went over to, like, you know, the small metal bins you would have in the corner of a classroom?
Yeah.
But metal, I mean, fucking steel bins with rivets on them and shit. And he just fucking booted it at this kid. Like, it took off and it cleared the desks and went at this. This kid went like that. Fucking smashed against the back of the wall.
Imagine that'd be great, clobbering him.
Absolutely, I'm fucking insane.
We had that teacher, I think I told it before about, we used to shoot him in the face with like a pellet gun.
Oh yeah.
He was so old that he never felt it. It would ping off his head and hit the wall or the board, and he'd be like, "Stop throwing things at the board!" And I'm like, "You're bleeding." we had a guy called his name was Jerry Bennett. He was brought up as like like getting the school. But he was he was brought up as the principal from Dublin, city guy. They shake
I've been
things
teaching
up.
in the inner city. Yeah. I'm all teaching Mr. Garvey.
He was so fucking like miserable cunt, right? But we used to. When I say we, everyone in the school, it was a big secondary school I was in. There was only 30 people in my entire primary school, but there's like 800 in the
secondary
school,
yeah.
right? And in the secondary school, used to do this thing. It was so funny, driving mad. Where basically all 800 people from all sides of the school at the 10-minute break, about 10 o'clock, we just like slowly start banging their lockers, going Jerry, Jerry. And it would build up, and then Jerry, 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 and then everybody just smashing the lockers. You could barely even hear anything in the school. He'd just run out of his fucking he'd run out of his office, being like, oh, fucking coordinated, Jerry.
That's amazing.
People throwing shit at him.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
It was funny. We all set up. I didn't do it, but a lot of people set up Roman candles facing his office one day. So he came out and the whole fucking
Jesus Christ!
It was like shit's going to catch fire. Like
fucking hell.
It was actually dangerous.
Have I told you about the music teacher we had?
No.
Like the band I was in. So there was a night where
The Frog Brothers.
The Frog Brothers, yeah. We were because he was a weird guy. He used to claim that he played left back for Celtic once, right? And we were fairly certain he was pumping one of the computing teachers, and then he got suspended. I don't know if it was for this incident or for another incident, because it was after I'd left school. But the guy who played bass in our band, there was a night where it was like an open night or like a fucking parents' evening or something, but the music department was open, and him and his pal went up and started playing with the instruments and stuff, and they were playing the piano, and you know that the Baby Bird song, you're gorgeous, they started singing it about him and going, you're a wanker, right? And he walked in and fucking leathered the kid, like just straight punched him, right?
That's so funny.
And like, it was the shock of the school.
Oh my god!
And then I can't remember if it's that he got suspended for, or he got suspended for something else. But he was a bald guy as well. That looked like he wasn't that far off Simmons actually.
That's great. Music
absolutely
teacher.
Fucking brilliant.
Bald music teachers. That's the
There's still the other things I've got. The jazz as a music. Do you like?
Some very particular.
I like the idea of liking it.
Yeah, very particular. Most of it is shit. Improvised jazz can fuck off.
Is that all the noodly?
What is this?
Nobody's in time with each other. They're all playing their own thing.
Shite.
Yeah.
It's just bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
And I get what he says about every coffee shop jazz album. I've heard that.
I like jazzy hip hop. They sampling over jazz.
Aye,
that's way better. That's such a good. I like Miles Davis and shit.
Aye. See, I do. Like, I can't even remember. I always watch films like this and go, that's cool. Right? That is class. And then I watch films like LA Confidential and you go, that's fucking excellent. But then see if you actually try and then just listen to that all the time. It gets quite dull after a while. It's not as cool without the background of a scene.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to any of that shit in the movie.
It's wonderful as a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And wonderful probably just in the background.
Yeah.
But you couldn't sit in the car and listen to it for ages.
Yeah, if you're listening to the jazz in your car driving,
yeah, that's a bad sign.
That's a bad sign. That's just, I don't know why it's a bad sign, but it is.
Aye.
If somebody pulled up, if you got an Uber and the guy's fucking listening to some cunt on a flute, you'd be just like fucking. Yeah, I feel like he was going to kill me.
Yeah.
You know?
Aye.
I feel like he'd be like, oh, like, why are we going towards the pier?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's certain time. I think that kind of music at Christmas is always quite like I love the romanticized idea of going to a jazz bar
Oh,
You know, like going downstairs to almost like what's a speakeasy, and there's a full.
You're in the jazz bar in the fucking end of this fucking Princess Street.
No.
There's like the Rat Pack Jazz Bar.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you go
yeah,
down
yeah.
a thing, and I was like, I want to see what this is like. Again, romanticized. Walked in, the fucking thing was like a fucking nightclub.
Oh,
Charlie
really?
XCX was playing, and there was just like dudes fingering young girls and shit.
Oh,
in the corner. And I
no.
went, this isn't a jazz
Why
bar.
is it called
It's complete lie.
Why the hell is it called the Rat Pack Jazz Bar then?
Complete lie. I know there's another one on Chamber Street, never been. Right. But that one is not a jazz bar at all. It's just a fucking shite nightclub.
That's ridiculous. 'Cause I've thought about going in there a couple of times.
Never. It's a total fucking disaster. Even on the outside, you're like, oh, there's a big bit, and you go
Aye, 'cause
down.
you go
there's
down the stairs,
and there's a
aye.
bouncer there, you know, and oh man, it's a horror show in there.
Aye.
It's just like red leather couches. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like jazzy. It is just genuinely like where a Japanese businessman would go to ploy some prostitute.
Oh, that's a shame.
It is a real nightmare. So
I bet that doesn't exist. You probably would be really need to be in the know, but I don't think it would ever.
Maybe some of the nights. Maybe I went in on a Saturday night and they're like, nobody's coming here if it's jazz on a Saturday night. We're going to have to sell it.
Aye.
But I mean,
I don't think it would ever reach my expectation levels though. Even if I went to New York and somebody went, you want to go to a jazz bar?
Yeah.
It would never reach what I thought was going to happen. Because I would expect to go in and to see...
like the Coca Cabana?
Yeah, I would expect a full band on stage, booths, like the club in Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's the one.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Sorry. That's what I would expect mobsters at the bar.
Some dude eating spaghetti, even though no food's on the menu.
Yeah. It would aye.
Right. Like this is a big.
It's like the romanticized idea of airport bars.
Okay, yeah.
Never ever reached. You see an airport bar in a film, you always see like a guy who'll be sitting there and he's obviously had rough shit happen to him, and he'll be sitting there and he'll order a drink, and then there'll be some lassie at the end of the bar, and then they'll end up chatting and pumping up in the like. There's always that kind of. It's never like that. Airport bars are basically fucking Witherspoons.
Yeah, that's right.
all they are.
Yeah. All bar one.
Yeah, hotel bars are exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's not. You think you're going to be in like crazy stupid love?
Exactly. Yeah. You imagine that if you paid enough, you probably could have those kind of bar experiences. But the places we stay at the weekend, it's never going to be. I'll go in there. Like my idea of I'll go in there,
locking in the stand,
sit at the bar, order a whiskey, and then go just leave the bottle.
Yeah,
and then some woman dressed in like a bright red, like the same dress that chick wears in the Matrix.
Yeah,
is walking through and sits around and goes, "Rough day, tell me about it." And she's also drinking whiskey.
As if she's like, well, I guess I'm going to chat up that guy with a bottle of whiskey on the thing.
But the reality is, it's a fucking travel lodge, and you've gone, "Can I get a drink, please?" And they've got a cabinet behind them and pulled out a warm can of Carlin. And there you go.
Here's your bag of breakfast for the morning. That's so funny. Did you reckon you do that, by the way, and just leave the bottle, and the guy be like, "No."
Yeah. Well, surely
I'm not even meant to count this.
They'd also surely ask you to pay up front.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know how you would. I don't even know how you would. Like, yeah.
Also, this bottle's nearly full, so halfway down this, there's a good chance I'm going to have to kick you out because you'll be fighting furniture like this.
Did you fuck my wife?
I can't let you drink an entire bottle of whiskey sitting on a stool. What are you talking about?
Yeah, great. Keep them coming.
Right.
That would make more sense. Keep them coming.
The only other things I've got are
sexual.
Why is it only the drummers that take shit in this film? Apart from the guy that's out of tune in the trombone, no other band member seems.
True.
Is the drummer that important in a jazz band? I mean, I know they keep the tempo and they basically drive the whole thing.
Yeah, he's not actually trying to get the next
saxophonist or
He's
piano
just-
player
He just
or
wants drum.
yeah, it's only the drummers that take the shit. Three different drummers he gets into this, but there's not like he's not suddenly going right today. I'm going to fucking lay into that guy at the back in the clarinet.
That's right.
It's only the
That'd be-
drummers that take the shit.
Yeah. Suck your dad's dick the way you play that, you little fucking fruit.
And then the only other thing I was gonna talk about before we go is right. We kind of covered it as well with talking about who wins at the end of the film. Do you think it is laudable what he's doing?
No.
You don't.
I actually enjoy it about the film I think it's horrible.
You think it's disgraceful?
Yeah, because I'll tell you why, because you're forcing people into what you want.
Right, that is. I get that. Yeah.
I just think, yeah, like I think I don't have he's like the next whatever Charlie Parker would never be discouraged. I'd be like, well, that's for you. You think that, really what would happen is I'd hit him. I'd have hit him so quickly. And not that thing, he would have kicked the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons would have.
I don't know.
I don't know. I like to think. Well, I mean, is it because of our discipline? It'd be real funny if you had trying to do comedy.
Well,
he's like, I'm gonna be the next Dave Chappelle, and he's sitting there slapping you, going, "Not that dick joke."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I think
I went to Tesco.
I think there is a bit where he says it would be a great tragedy if someone has had that. Because, I mean, we see when you compare it to sports, like Tiger Woods, who was driven and basically moulded to be the best from the start.
He did the driving.
Oh, there you go. Shut up. Different joke. The Williams sisters are the same in tennis. I imagine there'll be Formula One drivers, there'll be athletes that are all exactly the same. But that idea of how many people have been lost to the world, how many geniuses and how many absolute superstars have been lost because they didn't have someone pushing them further than they think they can go.
I mean, at the same time, I just be like, just money has done that. I reckon to all of the best people, like just straight up opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I do get it. I absolutely do get the point.
Two questions, because we both know comedians, right? To take it into our world, I know for a fact that I haven't pushed myself as much as I could have.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And every now and again, I will get that regret.
Yeah.
And go, fuck, if I'd really tried, I could have been much bigger and much better at this.
Yeah.
And then you go, part of that's laziness and part of that's also because I didn't care enough or didn't want it enough, but other stuff became more important.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You have a family, it becomes completely different.
Yeah.
But we both know comedians that have a pure focus on being the absolute best.
Yeah.
And will pursue that and do whatever means possible. And now, I don't mean that. I mean, with some of them, in terms of shafting other people and climbing over other people, we know tons of people that would sell out any single person to get opportunity.
Yeah.
And then there are other ones that don't do that, but their work ethic and their sheer determination is unrelenting.
I think sheer determination will get you there. The problem is, like, sheer determination usually means you just happen to be in a position in your life that you can do that.
Yeah.
Which is a privilege in many ways.
It is. But did you ever think did you ever have an idea in your head where I'm going to be the absolute best at this?
Watched it most times after I watch a Michael Jordan video.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're right, Michael.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I actually found that quite relatable too. Timothy Chalamet. Like, because I don't really watch the NBA or anything like that, but it is always Michael Jordan that gets me fired up about all these things.
Yeah.
The absolute best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like an actual...
I think with Jordan as well, I think there are God-given talents.
Yeah, do you know, like when you said that the Williams sisters, in my head, I was like, I don't think they got sheer determination. They're sisters and they're there. I was like, Dad had Tennessee jizz. What can I say?
Yeah.
Just in my head, I'm like, I can't believe that you're both that in one family. You know,
I mean, that's very much a Michael Jackson type childhood where you're literally going, you're doing nothing else other than this.
Yeah. Actually, when I think about that, I'm wrong there.
So I think
it was pure their dad fucking.
Of course, absolutely.
I'm way off here. That's right. I'm the opposite.
Whereas I think with Jordan, obviously the dedication and the sheer will to win needed there, but also he had a genuine gift.
Yeah.
Where, because there will be some people that really don't need to try that much at all.
Yeah.
And are just fucking Diego Maradona, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
An absolute car crash of a human. Gaza.
Yeah.
But still one of the best you'll ever see. Just George Best. One of the best you'll ever see, purely because of this naturally gifted talent.
I'm not sure if any of those players, though, would have been better with drive and sole focus on what they do.
Possibly not, but possibly they're the exceptions that were just too good.
Yeah. They probably excelled in their own madness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if you were to straight edge Diego Maradona, would he have been any better? I don't know if he'd worked like that. I mean, most people would have, but I'm not sure if he would have.
Yeah.
He'd been like.
And then there's also the thing of. Well, there's two things of it. There's also of three things really. There's also where, you know, they see and we laughed about it in our group where someone had put up that such and such had been rejected so many times for their first ideas or someone had submitted, and you always get these. You're like, Einstein was flunked from school, or Einstein was dropped class because they didn't understand him. J.K. Rowling I found that was had their books.
Do you know that one about Einstein? He was like, he got all E's in his whatever, and then somebody was like, in Switzerland, E was the highest grade you could get possible. And I was like, I
thought that would be.
They were like, I don't know, or some sort of marketing thing. It was pretty much 100% on everything. I was like, all right, shit.
You always see that, like the J.K. Rowling one where like our first 19 manuscripts were rejected by publishers. The Beatles were turned down by so many labels before they were signed and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, never give up. And people use that for their kids. They go, well, my kid can be... There's most 99% of people who believe that end up failing.
Yeah. I was going to say, you should be like, you need to give up.
Belief can't be, because if belief was all that mattered, everyone would be doing exactly what they want to do, and that's just not the reality of the world. So there's that. There's then the fact of when it does end up, if you don't end up being the absolute best, how devastating that actually is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I always notice it with comics at the fringe. See when someone's clearly got a show that they go, this is my fringe show, this is the one, and then people start talking about it and going, oh fucking hell, this is your year, and then nominations come out and they don't get it. That must be
shite.
I mean, fucking hell. That's almost when you go, I'm glad I didn't try.
Yeah.
That's not a healthy attitude either. I'm glad I didn't try but that must be fucking, if you've genuinely, that's the one, because I reckon everyone's got at least one show in them that's going to be that critical mass.
Yeah.
If that was your one and it still wasn't enough, that must be devastating.
I think, luckily, to my detriment, I don't give a flying fuck about that.
See,
Never have, never will.
Yeah.
It's not been a good thing. It's actually genuinely affected my career. Not giving a fuck about the thing, but I could not give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's the last question is what is more important, happiness or greatness? Because I don't know if I think the two are mutually exclusive. I don't know if you wanted to be the absolute best at something.
Yeah.
You would have to get, like Taylor in this has to give up his girlfriend to be the absolute best.
He's such a wank about it
has to largely give up a relationship with his dad, because his dad at the end, when he's looking at him, when he's doing the solo at the end, his dad's not looking at him with pride. It's almost despair going, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was a great... I actually should have brought that up. That's possibly one of the best scenes, I think, in it, is his dad looking through the crack and seeing the fucking... Because he kind of... He's like, well... He's a beast.
Yeah, he's lost now.
He's
Yeah.
lost, but lost. He will be great, but also like, oh no.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead in a couple of years. Yeah.
like.
So you can't have, because it's like that.
By the way, there's one. Why the fuck did the dad come or not even kick off? They're like, wait a minute, you're playing in that guy's band, and I'm going to see it. The guy that we've just fucking like.
Yeah, and why not confront Simmons?
Yeah. The dad would have kicked his fucking head in.
Yeah.
For some.
How did he even know about it? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm assuming Taylor didn't tell him, I'm going to be playing in this
He must have.
concert.
He must have. He tried to ring her and bring her.
Yeah.
Well, that's my boyfriend.
That was awkward.
I was like,
She also kind of goes, jazz?
yeah.
What?
That's so funny.
What? I'm sorry, am I speaking to a time traveller here? What the fuck?
Y'all come to your jazz
Yeah,
gig.
fucking calm down, Louis Armstrong. I'm not like.
What a weird thing to do. I'll bring someone to a thing. Like, I can't ever get that. I never understood comedians doing that. Bringing
Jesus.
people to like comedy shows and stuff.
If you're just going out with them.
Aye.
Oh, fucking.
Jesus
One of the
Christ.
most arrogant things I can imagine.
I'm just like, no. That just drives me mad.
I think that's insane.
I do. I genuinely think it's genuinely mentally unwell thing to do.
I would never. No other workplace would do that.
Yeah.
A plumber wouldn't do it.
You coming in and watch me grout?
Listen, I've got boiler. I've got one boiler change. So you meet me at 3. I'll take you to the change. You can watch me work.
I
And
don't think, and it's also not fun. You're not going to be a fun presence as well. Like
No.
before a gig, you're thinking about it, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, and then I'm just like, I can't think of anything worse.
And then there's the thing of there's so many different variables with it as well. Because if you die in your arse, then that's now become the most awkward meeting afterwards of all time.
It's not always like that.
Yeah.
And also, there's also that thing of as well the actual stuff. Like we do quite jarring stuff in different ways, me and you,
Yeah.
but there'd be stuff that'd be quite jarring for a lot of
Yeah.
people. It's quite a gamble.
If they don't know the stuff you do,
Yeah, if they're coming
or
up
if
and
you're talking about ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, they're then going,
is this cunt obsessed with his?
yeah,
No,
and
not really. Just
and then if you do well, but if they just don't like, if you've done well but they just don't get your sense of humour, that's
my
then fuck that. That's so much to worry about.
yeah.
Whereas you go, I'm working till 10:30. I'll meet you afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll meet you in the bar up the stairs.
Oh, I don't think I'm the same on stage as off as well.
No.
that much, so or
Christ, no.
completely different. Not completely different humor.
Yeah.
but, like more chatty off.
Yeah.
quite colder on stage.
Yeah.
To be like Jesus,
It's a needy, arrogant thing to do.
I'd never do it.
Anyone that's
Like if they were to be like, I'd really like to go or whatever. I think yeah, sure, maybe at some stage. But in my
Yeah.
head, I'm like, oh god,
not initially.
nah.
No, it's not a meeting. Oh, I've matched with this girl on something. She's going to come and see my gig tonight.
Ah, yeah.
You fucking.
We know people that do it.
Oh, cry,
And
you,
I'm always like psycho.
you fucking needy, insecure fucking wank.
Yeah.
Why do you that? But you're starting off a relationship with immediately needing validation.
That's
how you've started a potential relationship. Please love me. Look how good I am. Look at me up there.
Yeah.
And then want to come off and be hero worshipped for the rest of the night. Fuck off, you fucking pricks.
Date number 14. What do you do again?
Yeah, exactly. It's so.
Awful.
But yeah, I don't know if happiness and great. I don't think you can. I certainly don't in comedy. I don't think you could be one of the absolute best without. Look at the amount of comedians that end up getting divorced
Yeah.
is insane because the job makes it difficult anyway.
It does. It is a difficult job for.
I mean, you'll know the amount of family things or weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, Christmases, nights out that you've had to sacrifice because you have a gig.
Yeah, it's a hard one in relationships, I think, because or getting someone that even remotely understands it, and it's not about getting them to understand it because they're just like, your job's not more important than mine or whatever. Like, I think people are like, oh, you do nothing really all day, or or like you have times. We have a lot of time free, but not enough time to give because everything can uproot. Like in 1 second.
Exactly,
You're never really available. You can't plan.
Yeah.
I reckon that's what it is. You don't really know what your plan is. It's hard to live. People are like, I can't live how you live.
No.
Like, I don't really
But when
know.
you don't have a guaranteed
anything.
Like you say, everything could stop
Security.
tomorrow.
And then everything's such a thing. Then you lose something, and then and then you're like worried about that, and then something comes along. Then you're like, great, I'm good, and then it's all ups and downs.
We saw it with COVID. Literally, our job stopped, and that's it. Yeah, if you can't do it, that's it, done. It's
quite funny. I used to think that we had a job that no matter what would happen, I was like, how the fuck? There's nothing could come along that would actually stop comedy. And then immediately happened. I went, oh, okay, I forgot. Crowds.
Yeah, exactly.
I went, oh, yeah, I thought I was
you take that away. Yeah. You never think that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, never.
There's also a thing that annoys me sometimes, particularly with pals and stuff, where if something's, say this is the third time in a row that you've not been able to go to a night out on a Saturday, and folk are like now starting to go, well, we're never going to fucking invite you because you never go anyway. Sometimes you feel like going, well, I tell you what, I'll organise a day out on Tuesday and see how many of you come along. Oh, we can't do that because we've got our work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my work.
Yeah. That's true. That is it. Yeah.
There's nothing. It doesn't make it any easier because the majority of people don't do what we do.
Yeah,
they then understand. They don't understand that we are.
Why you have to do the gig? I'm like, I literally have to pay my bills.
I don't get paid.
Yeah. It was like, we could take the weekend, that Saturday off, and I'd be like, that's the one day I literally cannot do.
Exactly. It's fucking mental. Yeah.
You're like, maybe a Sunday if I'm not too far away on the Saturday night, because then you're traveling to get back.
Aye. No, it's fucking anyway. That's
that was good. I enjoyed today's podcast.
Yes, that was very informative today. Not funny, but
I think there was enough. It was a nice balance of
right.
Well, we had a broken wank.
Yeah, I mean that's
a bleeding cocks.
Yeah, we've got enough clippable stuff. Well, if you want funny, wait till you see what we've got next week.
Fuck, I'm worried.
Now, the way I don't know how you do. I've got a massive pile of DVDs that I collect. Anytime I'm in a different city, I'll go into the charity shops and I'll pick up like maybe 3, right, that I like the look and of interest, and I'll keep them as I'll normally have them in a big stack of like 15, and that's like the current group that I'm going to pick from.
Okay, right.
So sometimes I will curate it in a way where I go, oh, we've not done an action film for a while, so I'll go that, or we've not done a comedy for a while, or try and mix it so that we're not doing the same kind of film each week.
That's why I chose Whiplash.
Yes, perfect.
I did think of that.
Sometimes I just randomize it, right? So I'll put random number generator into my phone.
Love it.
Right? And this is a film that I've had for ages, and I didn't know when to introduce it. Right, so I'm glad that the randomizer has just picked it up, because this is going to annoy the fucking piss out of you.
Oh, you're fucking joking.
Next week, we are doing The Queen. Helen Mirren in The Queen.
I am...
Queen of a nation, Queen of hearts.
I honestly fucking hate you.
Following the death of Diana, the People's Princess, the Queen, Helen Mirren, and her family remain hidden behind tradition and the closed doors of Balmoral Castle, while the heartbroken public become disillusioned with their Queen's absence. An increasingly popular Prime Minister, Tony Blair, must battle to convince the monarchy that its desire for privacy could lead to its ultimate downfall.
I fucking... That's actually the worst choice we've ever had, in my opinion. Because like other ones, I'd be like, oh, that will be terrible in a different way. Or that's not. I hate biopics.
The anger that is going to come out.
I'm going to be fucking fuming. Yeah,
my God!
Like fucking Helen Mirren as the Queen.
Yep, nominated for 10 BAFTAs and 6 Oscars.
Oh, was it? I feel like it's just because it's called The Queen. I reckon none of them's even fucking watched the film.
Do you want to know the? Do you want to know the only quote? You know how they put quotes? It'll say, fantastic, best film I've ever seen. The Mirror, right? Magnificent, Daily Mail.
Great. Oh, you're a fucking wank, man. So I'm actually...
Don't blame me. Blame random number generator.
You have the fucking thing. You have the fucking...
Of course, I was never going to see that for £1 and not pick it up, for God's sake.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm blaming you slightly.
It was an absolute goldmine day.
That's so fucking funny. We're going to be so fuming. But you know, that's what I'm going to be like, raging, just turning it on. You know, just sitting down going like...
I think it'll be funny enough... watching you talk about it, but the imagination and the picture I'm going to have of you having to sit and watch this is going to be enough
Fucking Christ.
Right, so that's next week. In the meantime, we have a Patreon where you can watch all
Try
our
and make this place not
exclusive.
300 degrees in
Yeah.
here when we pass out.
We're going to record that now. This week, we're going to be answering all your questions and stuff and doing any kind of general chit chat. And because of Whiplash, we are going to try and pick our 5 favourite drummers of all time,
Yeah.
both real and I have some fictional ones.
Oh, nice.
And then there's loads of other Patreon episodes on there, different films we've done, different various shit, and it's very, very cheap. So if you want to support the podcast, you don't even need to listen to them. Just support the podcast. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Tell all your pals, give us a review.
That's it.
Check all the stuff because Cullen's got. You've got your first tour show of the tour.
It'll be what tomorrow night. Yeah, when this is out, whatever. The Friday, the March the 7th.
Yes,
There's tickets for that one.
Is it Monkey Barrel?
Not selling as well in my hometown as anywhere else. I always do this. It happens every fucking time. I don't know what that's about.
It's mental.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so come to that.
Yeah, and I've got the Glasgow show, and you've got Glasgow shows as well. At both of them at Blackfriars, and then all the rest of our tour dates are on there. All our specials and stuff's on there. I've started updating that song list playlist.
Have you? Good.
So if you want to go and listen to that, I'll add
I have
loads
to go and
more.
follow Miles Teller or run that cast now.
But apart from that, we'll see you for a rage-filled week next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.